Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be using a coffee stamp set, so I'm going to teach you how to create that coffee look with your Copics. So I'm going to start by stamping this coffee, or it's more like one of the cold iced drinks, or the blended drinks. So I'm going to ink that up with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and then stamp that on a piece of Coordinations 110-pound cardstock. I then went ahead and took my heat tool to make sure that that ink was completely dried before I started coloring it in with my Copics. So I'm going to start with the E21, and this is going to be my base layer on my drink. I don't know about you guys, but my favorite types of coffee drinks are the ones that have lots of chocolate in them and the blended ones. I'm not much of a straight coffee drinker. And then I'm going to take the E23 and just add in little bits of that. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to blend it with some other colors and the colorless blender. So then I'm adding a little bit of darker colors using the E25. And then I'm going to go back in with my E21 and blend all of those colors out. But we're not done yet. We're going to be adding a few extra little touches in there. And you can always blend and add more markers to make it more realistic depending on how you like it. You can do different colors. You could do this with like a pink if you have a strawberry drink, or even make it just like a shake. It doesn't even have to be a coffee drink. So you can see I'm adding little bits of the darker color and then blending those out. Just kind of building that color and really adding the different layers that come in the blended drinks. And then I'm taking my colorless blender and just adding little bits of that. It kind of helps to make it look like that frozen look to it, so it has that little bit of white in there. And then I'm adding the little lines of the E25. That'll just make it look like that chocolatey blended drink. For the whipped cream, I'm just going to add a little bit of shading with the E81. This is such a fun set, and there are awesome sentiments and little embellishments that you can use to add on your card. And then I'm going to color in the straw with the R35. I'm just doing every other one, so the other part is going to be white. For my background, I'm going to be using these 3 coffee beans, and I'm going to stamp this using the Rich Cocoa Memento ink. The reason I chose this particular ink is because I want to color these in with my Copics, and the Memento inks are great with Copic coloring, as you know. So it's just kind of fun that you can use a colored ink as well with your Copics. So how I'm creating my background, I'm taking this stamp and stamping a whole bunch of them at the top, and then as I get towards the bottom, I'm going to fade that out and stamp fewer and fewer of the coffee beans. Now, if you only want one of the coffee beans, you can always cut the stamp apart. They're pretty easy to kind of piece back together. It's just like a little puzzle, so don't worry too much about cutting your stamps apart. So as you can see, when I stamped this at first, I didn't stamp any off the page, but I didn't really like the way that it looked, so I'm just going back in and stamping a few of them off from the card. And then I'm going to go ahead and color these in with one of my Copic markers. So I'm using the E35, and I'm just doing some basic coloring. I chose this color because the outline would stand out because it was a darker color, so I wanted it to be light enough where you would still see the outline of that coffee bean, yet it would be filled in with a tannish brown color. So I'm just going to keep coloring that in and fill all of those in. Once I'm done, I'm going to take my May Arts Natural Twine and I'm going to cut 2 pieces. And then I'm going to tape each end on the back of that piece of cardstock. It's just kind of the easier way to tie a bow onto your card. So I'll tape one side down and then I'll carry it across the front of the card and then place it onto the back of that cardstock and then tape that into place. So then I'm going to tie my bow. I cut 2 more pieces of this natural twine and I'm just going to tie a bow around the right hand side. So how I like to make my bows perfect, I take both of the loose strings and then both of the loops and pull them in opposite directions, and that usually helps even the bow out. And then it also makes it lay really nice on your card. Now all of the supplies that I'm using on this card will be linked below if you're interested in any of them. So next I'm going to start assembling my card. For the coffee, I'm going to adhere that down with my 3D foam squares. I'm using the large ones from Best Creation, and I'm going to place this right in the center of my card, and it'll end up right in the center of that twine as well. Next, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. I chose the one that says "How You Been," and I'm stamping this with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. So I'm going to put a few layers of cardstock behind my coffee piece here. The first layer I'm going to use is a craft paper. So my white piece measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and the craft piece measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I'm going to place this onto a card base that is a tan color, and that is a regular A2 size card base. And then I thought I would add some fun little embellishments onto here. So I'm going to take my glossy accents and just add a few drops of the adhesive onto my coffee mug. That way it'll kind of look like those little watermarks that you see on the cup from it being cold. So it's just another little touch onto the card that really makes it complete. And you can add as few or as little of these drops as you want on your card. Or you could cover the entire mug or cup with the glossy accents as well. So the last step, I'm going to add a few of the coffee bean sequin mix. There's some fun colors and they really coordinate well with this card along with all of the other coffee cards that you would most likely make with this stamp set. So I'm just randomly scattering those, and then I'll go ahead and adhere them down with my multi-matte medium. I just squirt a little adhesive behind each one and then press the sequin into place. My adhesive got a little bit carried away there, it was a little clogged, so I got too much, so I just went ahead and dipped each sequin into there so that I didn't use all that adhesive on one. This card would be really cute with any of the sentiments in this set. I just think it's a really fun set, and I can give this to so many different people. And then that is my finished card for today, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel if you're not already, because I always post new card videos for you to enjoy. And I will see you guys back here next time. Bye everyone!